This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. So very good morning to all. In last session, we discussed about class component and functional component. We seen them and we worked with it, right? Now I need to discuss about a very important concept in React is going to be JSX. The simple, if you can say what is exactly JSX, if you can see JavaScript and XML guys, that is what exactly the stands for, right? What is this going to be? JavaScript and XML. Exactly. This is what exactly the JSX. Remember, if we want to write HTML code in React, in React, JSX will allows us write a point like this. JSX will allows us if we want to write HTML code in React. That is called whatever simply says whatever I want to tell you one simple point. Whatever the HTML you guys are writing in React, that is going to be simply called JSX. But remember carefully, in JSX, we have a strict rules and regulations, guys. Please be careful. Generally, in HTML, we can create an IMG SRC element like this. Okay, now IMG SRC element like this. And we have image path here that is going to be work for you fine. It is in the React.js, remember carefully, IMG SRC, the path merchant should be mentioned and it should have a closing tag properly. But in HTML, we no need to provide a closing tag that will work automatically. But in React, that won't work. And moreover, the path width, there should be an alt attribute also, and there is going to be title attribute also. Must and should we have to add them. Otherwise, it will going to give you a warning in the console. Right, we will talk about images also. Wait for some time what exactly that is going to be do for thing. Generally in JavaScript guys, you know how to create element, right? How can we create an element in JavaScript? There is a method called create element, right? There is a method called create element. Once element created, we have to append that element to wherever you want, right? So for example, I want to append this element to a div element or paragraph element. We can use these two methods. But in React, we don't want to write these guys here. JSX will taken care of these two methods functionality. What exactly the JSX will do? JSX will convert the HTML tags into React elements. Simply says guys, JSX will converts the HTML elements, will convert the HTML elements or HTML tags into React elements. React element. Simply says this is a HTML element, this is a React element. Why? Because same, nothing difference is there. React elements will follow strict rules and regulations, but whereas in HTML, you know, right? Exactly, in HTML you have break tag. Just write this, it will work for you. You can write HR tag, it will write. You can write this, it will work for you. But whereas HR or BR, if you want to write in, that definitely it should be have a closing tag. While you practicing, try without this closing tag. It doesn't work for you. It may give you some error for you, so you have to be very careful in this point of time guys. Exactly, okay now, right? So this is very important guys, you have to check this. And one more thing, for example, we will write a table tag in HTML. Table tag open, table tag close, right? This is what we are going to do. Some rules I'm telling you, just you have to follow in the JSX. So when I'm writing table, generally we can write tr and a tr close. Inside of it, we can write some ths, right? We can write some th open, th close. Immediately one more. After that, immediately we will take tr open, tr close. This is going to be tr open, tr close. Inside this tr, we can write some tds as well. This is what we will do in our HTML. But in React, if you can write this, this is going to give you an error. What is wrong sir inside of it? Everything is okay now. But remember carefully, the React table will be like this. Try to see the differentiation. That is your HTML table. Now I'm just going to show you the React table. Try to see. Same table tag open, table tag close, table and open, table close. Inside the table tag, remember carefully, for headings you have to take always t head and a t head close. Inside this t head only, we have to take tr, and the tr should contain ths. This is what is the exactly the thing you have to do in the React. Otherwise it is going to give you an error. Again, t body, again you have to take this t body open, t body close. Exactly, you guys needs to follow the same rules and regulations. Here again you are going to take this as a tr open, tr close, and this is going to be td open, td close. This is the way of doing in our React. So as like strict rules and regulations you have to follow. Simply says JSX means strictly written HTML. I want to tell you, these are the some rules and regulations we have to follow while we are creating an elements in the React.js, guys. And one more thing, I want to talk about a concept called expressions in JSX. I think some conditions are something we have to write inside the JSX. For example, you have a paragraph tag. In this paragraph tag, you want to add a variable. For example, in your component, you have a variable, let name is equal to something called I'm taking ROM, or any variable you taken. So this ROM you want to add into the paragraph tag. So can I write the name directly here? No, it won't work for you. So for this, we can use the concept called expressions in JSX. Any expression you want to write in a HTML React element, this is going to be curly bracket. By using this curly bracket or curly braces, we can write some expressions in JSX, guys. Exactly, you have to use it. That's the reason in the last session also we have some variables here. Can you see this is a variable, this is a function, this is an object. How we are able to access them in our thing, guys? Here, that's the reason we are using curly bracket. Inside an HTML element, if you want to use any variable or you want to do any calculation, you have to do something like this, guys. Exactly. For example, this is your functional component. Where is your functional component? This is my functional component, right? Yeah. You want to do some discount calculation. What exactly you have to do some discount calculation? Or it may be a class component, it may be any calculation, right? Let us go and create one file. I'm going to create calc.html. Sorry, .js file is going to be .js, right? Right. Let us see the React snippet RCE. I'm going to create a calc something I'm creating, and let me write some HTML tag here. H1 tag open. This is JSX. This is going to be JSX. So can I see the output of it? Go to the browser and type localhost colon 3000, localhost colon 3000. Are you getting that output? This is JSX. No, you are not getting. This is the previous output. Component is created. Once created, the component should be rendered into the thing, guys. Now you have my class is there. Let me keep this into comment. I don't want to call this. Now I'm going to add this into the comment. This is a React comment, right? You already know how we can make the comments in React. Now just now you created one component. What is a component you created? So when you are not using a component, the import statement should be in hidden, or you can remove it. Remember carefully, I'm removing perfectly. Now the component you created, what is the component I created? calc. This is the component I created. Now you can go and refresh it. Now you are going to get, this is JSX. What is this? Is I written there now, right? Exactly, in the calc if you can open, and this is the concept you written there. So inside of it, you want to do some calculation, guys. How can we do some calculation here? For example, I have a variable, let price is equal to, I'm taking a variable, price is equal to, oh, in a class we cannot use let keyword. Okay, remove this, no problem. Or else, okay, don't worry, you can take price is equal to, I'm taking this as a 599 rupees price. I'm having one more variable called discount. DIS is equal to, I'm providing you just 10% discount. So you have to calculate this, right? Calculate the discount. Now, how can we calculate the discount here? Now you are in the JSX. The product name is going to be RS. I'm going to write the product RS. What is the product name? For RS, you have to write this dot price. Exactly. You have to say this dot price, PRIC price. You can take this as a shirt, SHIRT shirt. RS is going to be something. Now you can see shirt RS 599. Can you see this is a variable? That variable we are printing here. Short is a static thing, but this is going to be the variable we are taking. This is called expression or whatever it may be. You can use curly bracket if you want to write something, guys. So after discount, I am writing this, guys, here exactly. After discount, after DISCOUNT, discount. What is the discount variable there? this dot dis discount percentage. This is the percentage. After 10% discount, the price is going to be, the price is, I'm writing like this, the price is, anybody tell me please. So now you can see it was very clear. After 10% discount, the price is, you have to calculate the discount, right? Or else you can take this into a paragraph tag again. This is going to be a paragraph tag, or okay, you can take h2 tag, no problem. Okay, h1 you can take, this you can take h2. I'm taking this into h2, whatever it may be, guys. Presentation, that's all about the important thing. So I'm going to make this also h2. Now tell me please, this is what exactly I written. After 10% discount, what is the price of it? You know 10% discount inside of it, right? What is the 10% discount? I need to calculate the discount, guys. Anybody tell me please? The price is, anybody, you have to calculate the discount, right? How can we calculate the discount here? You can write the expression, you know, right? Price, pric, price divided by des in a dis, sorry, discount, 10% discount. Exactly what we need to do, price into dis divided by 100, right? This is what exactly you have to do it. Understand or not, right? So what exactly this is going to be, now you can see you are going to get the some error, undefined. Oh my god, you have to write this dot price now, this dot price, this dot dis. This is the way of accessing, right? This dot dis. Now you can check this, I don't have any error. You are getting 59.9, but actually the total price, this is the total price, right? We have to subtract it, right? Let us do one thing. I'm going to, my expression is like this. Can you see the expression, how we are writing the expression? This and this you written, right? Now let me take this into a bracket. Now you have to get the total price, right? What is the total price? This dot price, this dot pric, price minus total, the discounted price. Now you look at the total price now. This is how we can implement the calculations. Can you see you're getting 539? You want to round the value. I don't want to write 539.1. I just want to round the value 539. That's all, right? How can we round the value? So you are calculating this entire thing, you are getting 539 point something you are getting. So you know in JavaScript we have mathematical functions, right? Math.round, directly we can apply mathematical functions here in React. So math.kaplan dot round round, just if we can keep this entire expression in the math.round function, the calculated value will be, now you can see 599, and this is going to be 539 only. See what I'm doing, my intention is here, you should know how can we use expressions in our HTML. And the JSX simply says, generally in our HTML, can you write like this? No, right? There is no way at all. We cannot write like this at all in our HTML. Is it possible? By creating a HTML file, can we implement like this? No, we have to write JavaScript code behind the scenes. The JavaScript code we have to append, we know document.getElements by id HTML equal to the calculation we have to append to it. Yes or not, right? The same you can do by using JavaScript also. But in React, the JSX will allow us to write everything inside the HTML. That is the advantage of the JSX. You can compare with JavaScript. What exactly JavaScript is doing for you? We can write everything in the script tag and we can append it to an element. But in JSX, everything we can add within the file. Within the template also, within the HTML code also, we can do some calculations. That is the beauty of JSX. What exactly JSX is? This is the purpose, and this is exactly the JSX is going to be, guys. Okay, now so try to see what exactly we can do it here. That's what you have to check the things carefully. Done? Yeah, guys. Now let us go there, and I'm going to, okay, not only this, okay, you can create a functional component again. Now let us go and create one functional component. Got the clarity, right? So whatever we are doing, they are curly brackets, that is called expressions, JSX expressions. In the expression, you can do any kind of, this is called simply inline calculation. We are calculating on the line and we are printing the output on the screen there. We don't want to write any separate logic like JavaScript. There is a separate function to calculate the discount. Of that, whatever the output we are getting, we have to append it by using inner HTML. But what we are doing in the React, we are writing everything in the JSX directly. We can write expressions also, but in HTML, can we write expressions? No, it is not possible. But in JSX, we can write expressions as well. Expressions as well. That is possible with the React, guys. So now you can go and with one more. Now I'm going to write one more file. Let us go and create this demo.js or anything. You can create it, no problem. Demo.js. Oh, capital D. File name should be start with capital letter, right? Make rename F2. I'm going to make it rename it as capital D. Yeah, demo.js. Now I'm going to create a functional component RFCE. This is my snippet, code snippet. Now you can see, guys, this is my functional component. Okay, let us go and load this. H1 tag open, H1 tag close. Hello, how are you? Simply, my intention is not this is. You can go to your app. You have to load this, the component, new component. What is a new component? You can comment this. Now I'm going to comment this into the React. The component you created. What is the component name? Demo, right? Demo. Yes, I'm loading the demo. Yes. So calc, I'm also removing this. Once it is not in use, I'm removing it, right? Now can we see demo, capital D na, small d na? What is the file you created? Capital D. My God, it is created with smaller. Why it is created with a small? RFC. Okay, small d it is created. Okay, let me try it. Let us go and refresh the page. It is working, right? Okay. Now I'm going to refresh the page. Now you can see it is saying that cannot find file demo.js doesn't match the corresponding name on disk. What I told you, remember, what is the name of the file, right? The name of the file and the thing should be same. Case sense to capital D you can take. Now you can write this capital P, capital demo. Now exactly you are taking this capital demo. Perfect. Demo and demo. Now in app.js also use capital D here while importing, and here also you have to use capital demo, guys. This is what exactly you guys needs to follow. Rules and regulations. React is saying that strict rules and regulations you have to follow. I'm refreshing the page. Again, I have an error. Why error? Can't find a file. Is there anything wrong, guys? I'm doing so. Demo.js. Where I saved the demo.js file? I have a doubt. Let me check this. This is available in SRC folder 10 AM. It is available here. What is the problem? Okay, let me do one thing, guys. Let me delete the file. I'm deleting the file. Let us press delete button. File get deleted. I don't have anything to import here. Let me create a file one more time. I'm going to create the SRC file. I don't know the problem. I didn't observe. So I'm creating a file with a demo.js. File is created. I'm making this RFCE. Right, maybe ./demo. Maybe I may given you. So this is the file created. You can take H1 tag open, H1 tag close. This is demo component. Just I'm going to make something like this. You can go and import the demo simply. Just I'm going to import demo. Okay, you can check this. I imported, but ./demo, capital demo. But why my component is created in lowercase? That I have to look it, right? So do you see, when I'm using React snippet, it is generating with not capital D. It is generating directly like this. Maybe demo is any predefined. I'm taking capital demo. You can make this also capital demo. Done. Right. You can go there. You have to make this capital demo, right? Here also you have to make capital demo. I think I forgot earlier here to make it. So demo and demo. This is also going to be capital D. Now you can check this. I think it will be work for you. So as that this is a demo component, is working 100% for us. Okay. Now you can see in the demo component, all of you try to see. So if you want, you can remove everything without having. I want to make my JSX very clean. Okay, no worries. I removed. Only demo component is loaded here. Now you can go and write the demo.js here. In the demo component, I'm taking a variable let username equal to, I'm taking something called rom. This is what exactly the username I take it. Now I'm going to take one more thing called something called an element. Let us see, the element is going to be something like this, const or element or anything. You can take const also, no problem. The value is not going to be changed, right? You can take const, or you can take let also, no problem. I'm going to take one more, const element is equal to, I'm taking a h1 tag. Directly we have to write like this. If it is a JavaScript, how you do? You can make this either in single quote and double quote, right? Definitely you will do like this in JavaScript. But here it is not required, guys. Just remove this, and this is an element. Inside this element, welcome to that user, guys. How can I access this ROM? I want to access this variable here. Can I access directly? Username? It is not going to be work for you. How can we do this? Directly, Inside the variable also, if you want to use it, you can write something called username. Simply you have to use something called username. Now you want to print this element in the console. Now you can come down inside of it. I'm removing this h1 tag. Inside of it, I'm calling the element directly. Now you can go and check this. You're going to get the welcome to something like this. But there is a problem. Can you check the problem? Can you read the console message there? I'm getting some console message. What exactly the console message? Can you tell me, please? Yes, guys. I have an error in the console. Validate DOM nesting. H1 cannot appear as child of H1. Oh, can you see, guys, here? Already this is H1 element. Again, this is the H1 element. Inside H1 element, you are keeping again H1 element. What it is saying exactly? Validate DOM nesting. H1 cannot be appear as child of H1. Yes or not, right? The element, what is this element contain? This element contain a H1. This element contain a H1 element again. H1 of H1, it is going to be generated. Can you see the output is going to be in the DOM? What it is saying you exactly? So where is your thing? Project. You have app. Now you can see this is H1. In the div, there is a H1. Can you see there is a H1 inside again? You are having H1. Don't keep like this. JSX is the strict rules and regulations, but in HTML it will work for you. We don't have any problem. H1 you can keep inside of it, but it is a JSX, right? It doesn't allow you to write something like this. So what you can do, remove this completely and you can write something called element, guys. Now it is going to be work for you perfectly. Now I'm going to refresh the page. Do we have any error in the console? I don't have any error in the console, and it is printing the output also like this. See, sometimes we are taking variable, we have to pass one variable value to other variable also. This is called, you have to understand what is the exactly meaning of JSX. This is what exactly the concept of JSX, guys. Try to get some clarity what exactly we are going to do here, right? Okay, let us do one more scenario. Okay, let me keep this into comment, guys. Try to see. I'm just going to keep this into comment. Okay, here in this element I'm going to write welcome to functional comp. This is a functional component. Let us write h1 tag welcome to, okay, something where just welcome only I'm writing. Now you can refresh the page, you can go there, you can save this file also, and you can run the file. You're getting welcome. Just this is your functional component, welcome demo. Or else you can write simply for the confirmation, welcome demo we are writing. Perfect, guys. Now you can check this. This is going to be done. Now here I'm going to take an object. All of it, try to see. I'm going to create an object const user equal to, I'm taking FIRST, first name Ram. Okay, I'm taking the first name Ram. It's an object, right? Object is going to be like this. Last name is going to be something like this, either double quote or single quote, no problem, something like this. City, I'm taking something called HYD, HY, something like I take it. I want to take mobile, some mobile number, it's a number, right? We can take directly like this if it's a number. This is an object, okay now? So I want to take address also, area equal to my 3 something like I take it. Yes, exactly, guys. Each and every value should be, object value should be separated by comma, right? This is user object. How can we print the user object? See, I want to get the username, right? I want to get the full name. I want to get full name of the user. I want to take one more h1. I want to get address only, address address. Okay, now I want to get address. For getting full name, try to see what I want to do, guys. Here I'm writing one callback function const get full name equal to, for this I'm passing user as an object. Now you can write the logic like this. You have to return it, return user dot first name. You can write like this also now, user dot first name space with some concatenation, user dot last name, guys, exactly user dot lastname, last name. What will be happen, guys, in this point of time exactly? So now you can see, so get full name is there, perfect. Now I won't write get address const, I'm writing get address, address, get address is equal to For the same, I'm passing user object because that is containing the information, right? That's the reason it is going to be to the same. Done. Now in this, what you have to do, return user dot area concatenate comma user dot city concatenate and user dot mobile. Guys, this is what exactly I want to take, plus user dot mobile. We are not printing, we have to return the data. Remember carefully, in React, any of the method which is created by you, that is always going to return, right? Not only the methods, only one method. Who is that method? Render method or return is the persons to print the data. That is going to be your main return statement of your function, is only going to be return the thing. Now can you tell me, I want to call the address here. How can we call the address here? Now you have to take something called yes, what exactly this is going to be? Get full name, right? You have to call the get full name is a method. Address is going to be written here. Now here, what are you going to do, guys? Here, get, what is the name? You have get address is the function. That's all. Now you can go and check this. It is going to be executed. Now I am not, it is not giving me output. I have an error. Can you check the error, guys? Here, so cannot read property first name of undefined. Why first name of undefined? I'm getting an error like this, guys. Here, it is not at all allowing me. So anybody please tell me what is the solution I need to do. I have a const user, I'm passing that const user to my function, but it is not allowing me. So anybody, what is the reason why we are not getting the output actually? Get full name I called, camel case is not required. You can take anything, right? That's an object, na? Key and value pairs are everything. You can take anything, no problem. I think let me use the function here. I'm using the function. I want to check this, the problem with this function, and get address, get something I taken. But if it is a function case, I think we don't want to use the fat arrow syntax. Simply, we can go like this. 1 minute, guys. Let me check this way also. I think this way it may work, I believe. But in this point of time, I'm just going to write something like this. Let us check this exactly what will be happen. Now, can we run the file and can you check this? Are we getting the output? No, still I'm not getting output. I believe my code is okay. What is the problem then? Why this is not working for me? Let me do one thing. Let me change the order to top. Maybe this is the priority. Let me go there and I'm calling a user object. I'm passing that user object to the function directly. Oh, sorry guys. Here actually what you have to do, this is it's a simple thing, right? Oh my God. When we are calling a function, we have to create a function with parameter. Na? When you are calling the function, you have to call it the parameter, right? My God, what are you doing? What we are doing here? You have to call user, na? You have to call user object, right? Yeah, this is very small thing we forget it. So a function you created, that is a parameterized function. If it is a function is parameterized function, you have to call it with the parameter, na? Right? This is what exactly, guys. Now sorry for that. So you can go and check this, all the information you're getting. Simple thing. So we created a function with a parameter. While calling the function, we have to pass the parameter to the function, right? The parameter may be an object, it may be an array or anything, right? We have to do it, right? That's a we mistake, and this is what exactly the way of iterating the data inside a functions also, guys. Just I'm giving you slowly an idea how exactly we can do the things and all. So we can get the things very clearly, right? Don't worry. This is user info. If you can take this as a user info, then you can take this user info to your function. The variable is, don't get confused, this is user info and this is going to be user info. Get full name, to this we are passing user info parameter. Then what happened, it will go for the get full name. User info will be saved in the user variable, user dot first name, user dot last name. It will be work for you perfectly without having any problem. Okay now, right? So this is how we can write some logics inside the thing. See, I written this inside my where you written, guys? Here I'll have to try to see. You written this logic exactly, right, guys? I just want to tell you in a functional component. Can you implement the same by using a class component? Will you try this? Same story, whatever I implemented here, the same I want to get by using a class component. You have to try this. So take this, I'm giving you the same array, same functions, whatever it may be. I'm sharing you the array in a chart window, get the array and try to implement the same in your class component. I used this to a functional component. You guys needs to work with a class component exactly. Yes or not, right? Yeah, guys, you have to check with the class component perfectly. Perfect, guys. So this is what exactly the concept, guys. Try to do it your own way. Not only this example, you can try with a different example, different scenarios, different calculations you can perform. At the end of the day, you have to get some good idea exactly what it is going to be, guys. Okay, now, right? Sometimes, okay, let us do one more thing, guys. Here, what I want to do. If user logged in, display some information, not logged in, display some information. Okay, now? So I just want to return some HTML, whatever the HTML it may be, that HTML we have to return. Otherwise, I want to return some other HTML as a function. If user logged in, do something. If user not logged in, do something like this. Let us implement this by using class. Okay, now this is the same user object I want to copy, but same, let us go and create. Let us create a file with the name user.js. This file is there, not there, right? Okay, let us create this as a class component. Now this is a class component. In the class component, we have a variable. This is the variable. Const is not required, guys. In a class component, const you cannot take. In a functional component, you can take class component. This is the data we are having. If user logged in, I want to do something. If user not logged in, I want to do something, guys. I have a variable. What is the way I discussed about state? No, I didn't discuss about state with you, right? Okay, let us take a variable is. I'm taking a variable user logged in. I'm taking equal to true. Understand? This is a true. Now you can create one function. Function. Okay. Greeting. 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 Greeting user. Right? Greetings user. Something like I'm creating a function like this, guys. This is going to be user info as a parameter to it, right? You have to pass the parameter like this dot user info. I pass it something like this. Okay, you can go and check this. What happened? User info. Okay, anyhow, you have to pass the parameter, not this dot user info. Perfect, guys. Here, just a return user info dot first name. Just I'm concatenating, but in the class, I'm writing in a class again user info dot last name. Just I'm going to write. This is the class, guys. That's all. So a function you created, the function have a parameter. How can I call the function here? Now I'm going to take this h1 tag open, h1 tag close. Inside of it, we have to call the function. This dot, what is the function name? Greeting user, right? Greeting user. To this greeting user, we have to pass this dot user info. This dot user info as a parameter. The same, whatever you implemented there, I'm implementing the same here. Functional component, it is a class component. Now you can go and check this. Now let us add this user dot also here. Now I'm going to call this user dot js. Exactly, this is the user component you created. Now you can go and refresh the page. Can you see you're getting the full name? No? The same story, whatever you did in the functional component, I'm doing in the class component. Nothing difference is there, guys. Yeah, exactly. You want to get address also, no? Right? You can write the get address or get username, or you can write get full name. Why I want to go? You can write get full name is my function. You can write this dot get full name, no problem. This dot get full name. To this you are passing user info. I want to get my address. Now you can see I'm going to write get address, get address, get address. To this we have to pass a parameter called user or user info or anything you can take, no problem. This is my function. It is going to return user dot, what is this guys, city. Now user dot city concatenate user dot mobile, user dot mobile concatenate user dot area, user dot area, exactly. we have to take concatenation operator, guys, here. Exactly. Okay, I'm taking space, something like this. You have to take something, guys, like this. Exactly. User.area. What this method is doing, this method is calling the get address. Now you want to call the get address. Now you can come down. You can take h2 tag or anything. h2 tag open, h2 tag close. address address. The function, what is the function? This dot get address. How can we call a function inside another function in a class component? You have to use this, right? So the variable also you have to pass it. This dot user info. The user info also you are passing it. Now you can see the address information is also printed on the class component. The same. Okay. Now what I want to do, if user logged in, I want to do something. Otherwise, I don't want to do anything, guys. How can we return this statement? We are returning something, right? Now I want to return this, try to see if I'm writing this dot is user logged in equal to true. If it is logged in, display one HTML. Otherwise, display some HTML. Exactly. This is what. If it is done logged in successfully, I'm returning this. You can see return statement like we can write the return statement conditionally also. Otherwise, I'm writing return with h2 tag or anything. You can take h2 open, h2 tag, h1, please log in. I'm going to display a message called please log in here, something like this. Now, can we see what are you getting? Because the value is true, you are able to see. Now I'm making my value is going to be false. What is the login true? It is going to be false now. Now you can see if the value is false, then what is going to be happen? It is showing you please log in. It is showing you as please log in. Exactly. So something we want to render conditionally. Yes, we can write conditions also inside our render method. I want to display one if your user logged in. I don't want to display if user not logged in. So something like this, guys. So you guys needs to do some kind of practical scenarios. Okay, you can go to official websites also. Same examples, whatever the examples are given, the same we can get it. React JSX. I'm going to Google like this. You can see official website, introduction to JSX. This is introduction to JSX. So we have an element, something like, first of all, read the manual also, try to see this. Why JSX? I think I told you, right? This I told you, whatever the variable we are having. But don't worry, they are using directly React DOM render. I think if this is the code you want to execute, you have directly go to your index.js. Okay, now, but I won't write in my component, right? Okay, first study this and try to understand. This is a format a user, some functions are there, JSX expressions to conditions, guys. This is the condition, they written their own function actually. I written in a render function. So you can try to see some different examples are there here. Image img src, can you see image path is going to be something like this. Dynamically the path is coming. I think you can see advanced guides here. If you can click advanced JSX also will JSX in depth. Here we have JSX in depth. JSX is also there. You can see JSX in depth. First, I understand the basic basic JSX. Then you will understand the two also, guys. Okay, na? Right. So done. So any doubts, guys, please carry on. So we can see. So if you have any doubts in the next session, but you guys be perfect in the JSX, guys. Try to practice and try to check different videos for better understanding JSX. Now, next session, we are going to talk about props and state in entire React. This is one of the important things that we are going to discuss in next session. Props and state may take more time, but anyhow, we have to complete props and state in tomorrow's session. Okay, now, right. After that, we can see lifecycle methods of React.js also. And I want to tell you, remind me, event handling also. Event handling. How can we add an event to an element? Right? So that we have to check in this, guys. Okay. First, let us see tomorrow what are the possibility concepts I want to discuss. After that, we can go for props and state. Okay, now? Right. Any doubts, please carry on.